We are 11 days away from the 2025 scheduled release show held by the NFL. You know, everything is a spectacle in the NFL offseason. It's 365 days a year, 24/7 coverage, and everything's exciting when it comes to the NFL. And my question I got for y'all today, how many primetime games would the Washington Commanders have in the Lord's year of 2025? We're going to break down Washington's opponents and make some early predictions on Washington's schedule. Let's get active. What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Ramblin' with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders and our lead commander, Jayden Daniels, our quarterback, who I'm predicting to have a MVP candidate, top 2 finish type season going into it. And there's probably some people like, Rio, let him prove it again. Let the team go out and show the world that they're for real and they're not a pretender, because everybody in the league has their time to have a year, to have a season. And my retort to that is always, no. That would be an irresponsible way to look at this shit. The league has never seen a turnaround like this one, because results on the field are one thing. Getting a quarterback on a football team is one thing. Getting a new general manager and front office is another thing. Getting an entire coaching staff handpicked by said front office is another thing. Being led by new ownership, new leadership, moving different as an organization from top to bottom, and every last ass in that building is a good person who knows what they're doing and is actually qualified for the job they're doing. That's another thing. League ain't never seen anything like this before. Never, bro. Like, it would take a cataclysmic fall off a roof from the second year phenom in this team for Washington to have a bad season this year. And I hear people, Washington had 6 last-second finishes last year. Their schedule wasn't the hardest, yada, yada, yada. They didn't beat nobody. And then I always say, you can say that, and I can also say we should have won 14 or 15 games last year. The only game last year where we were handled was week 1, Jayden's first start of his NFL career, and we were the lab rat experimental week 1 version of ourselves. We were just a smorgasbord of new shit thrown in the pot and told to make beef stew. And we went out there and stunk the joint up, but Jayden still flashed. Even though he didn't throw any touchdowns, he ran for 2. He was the whole offense that day. And Tampa's offense was too much for our defense, but we got our lick back in the playoffs. We got our lick back when we went up to Raymond James and took that ass out the playoffs, you know? But that's the only game we really should have lost last year. When I go through our losses, because, you know, we only lost 4 more times. If the defense gets one more stop in Baltimore, Jayden was walking that ass down. Versus Pittsburgh, if Zach Ertz didn't decide to take a Colin Kaepernick stand and kneel behind the sticks, that's another game-winning drive for Jayden Daniels and company. Versus Dallas at home last year, we played like shit and didn't deserve to win that game. But same time, Austin Seibert doesn't miss that extra point. We got all the momentum to go into overtime and continue to walk that ass down in the fourth quarter. A wacky fourth quarter where there was like 30-something points scored between both teams. But another game we probably should have won. The Eagles game, we were up 10-6 going into the fourth quarter and fell off of a fucking roof, you know? We were the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen. You know how Santa fell off the roof and he had to replace him? That was us. In the fourth quarter of that game, we gassed out. Jayden's ribs were still banged up. Not going to use it as an excuse. He started, he played bad, they strapped us, and they went crazy in the fourth quarter. That guy you see on the schedule release graphic, Saquon Barkley, absolutely took our soul. They washed us in the fourth quarter of that game. We end up losing by 8. Another one-possession loss. Everything was a one-possession loss minus that week 1 disaster in Tampa. And that game was closer than it looked on the scoreboard. So when you tell me, but those 6 games could have went in the opposite direction. Yeah, and four of the five losses could have also went into the other direction. When you have a team learning how to win on the fly, you have a culture and you have a list of guys who are not used to winning. Learning how to win is a part of the development of that team. Washington learned how to win in 2025. They learned how to win when Jaden Daniels was knocked out with banged up ribs, 40-7 on the Carolina Panthers. Marcus Mariota came in versus the Cowboys week 18, clutched them out at the last second. That ain't luck. It's a skill to learn how to close games. And I'm sorry, my quarterback, my offensive coordinator, and my football team has the clutch gene. Tell your team to get their clutch gene up. Can't relate. But then the playoffs came around. We win a nail biter at Raymond James. We go up in 2-possession victory, 45 points on the head tops of the Detroit Lions. And then we all know what happened in the NFC Championship. The last 2 minutes of the first half of that game sucked the souls out of us. We decided to become fumble rooskies, and Philly put absolute belt to our raw ass in the second half of that game. They dogged us. So 2 games all year where we actually got handled. The Eagles in the NFC Championship and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first game of the season. Our first and last games of the season, but all the meat in between, Washington coulda, shoulda, and most likely won that football game. So miss me with that bullshit. We're looking at the schedule release graphic for 2025. I see a running back who was the best player in the NFL last year and now is being paid as such. They upped his contract, upped his money a little bit. He's a running back making $20 million a year right now, a position that the league tried to extradite, tried to devalue. Saquon's bringing the vibes back. Jamar Chase, a wide receiver. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, next best player in the NFL last year. Had a ridiculous season, led the league in touchdowns. It felt like he was going for 203 touchdowns every week of the season last year. Also being paid like a quarterback. Josh Allen just got his contract re-up, $330 million, $60+ million a year guy. I'm looking at 3 guys who have already secured the bag that are constantly an offensive player of the year and MVP conversation. And then I see the king on the hill. Then I see the only second-year player on the graphic. I don't see you, Bo Chapman Nix, Caleb Williams. I don't see Cole Bernard Stroud on this graphic. I see JD5, Jaden Daniels. And that tells me the NFL understands it. Everybody understands it except Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles fans. It's that our guy got motion. Our quarterback has motion. Everybody wants a piece of him. They want to sell this guy to the masses. So when I predict primetime games for the 2025 Washington Commanders, I know it's that the NFL wants to put this guy on the biggest screen in front of the biggest audience. They want to bring him over international. They want people to know the face of Jaden Daniels. He was the header of the NFL Twitter page 3 times last year in his rookie season. Your young quarterback can't relate. I'm sorry, the aura, the motion, and the production on the field is just different. So when I look at our opponents for 2025, because we don't know the order in which we play guys yet, but we know who we do play. I'm looking at the opponents list. My guy Brandon, shout out to Brandon, right? Who posts everything Washington related. This is Washington's opponent list for 2025. There are the usual mainstays, the NFC East that take up the top row, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles. Always going to be tough, nail biter, claw to the finish, wire to wire type games. Then we get to see our favorite NFC North teams again. The Chicago Bears, a team that's been on dick since we beat them and took their soul and ended their season because they were never able to recover from it. The Detroit Lions, a fan base that treated our fan base and our football team like we were the Make-A-Wish football team of the 2024 playoffs, put belt to ass on them boys. We host both of them this year. Then we got the Seattle Seahawks led by Red Rocket Sam Darnold. We got Bo Chapman, Nix, Sean Payton, and the Denver Broncos, and then Ashton Genty, newly paid Geno Smith and company, coming on down to Northwest Stadium this year. And then we're going to take our show on the road. if you're a traveling fan, this is a good season to travel for games because some of the top bucket list destinations are on our opponent's list this year. We're talking about Ye Old Reliable, the most historical stadium in the NFL. Lambeau Field, we're going up to see Jordan Love and company. We're going up to that beautiful US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Down south, a game that a lot of Washington fans fill up the stadium every time we go there because, we play the Falcons every year now, it seems. And we're putting belt to ass on a regular basis no matter who's at quarterback. But we go see Michael Penix and them at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We're going up to Arrowhead, one of the best home field advantage stadiums in the entire league and a generational quarterback competition. It's the face of the league. I don't care that he lost the Super Bowl last year. Patrick Mahomes is still the face of the fucking league. You're lying to yourself if you think that is not the case. Jaden versus Mahomes, must-see television. Definitely going to be one of my primetime predictions. Then the two teams we play in the AFC, that there's a chance that Washington takes this thing international. The Chargers, who have a game in Brazil next year, and the Miami Dolphins, who have a game in Madrid, in España, Spain. So here are my primetime predictions, and I'm going to break them down into subcategories. I have Washington playing on primetime television in front of a national audience at minimum 6 times in the 2025 season. I'm going to say that. I'm going to look into the camera again because I mean it when I say it. I'm going to say it with my chest. Washington will play on primetime at minimum 6 times in the 2025 season. And this is how I break it down. I think we're going to play an international game. I think the international game is going to be on Peacock or something. Shout out to the cock. If you know, you know. I think we're going to play 2 divisional games on primetime. One against Dallas, one against the Giants. I think we're going to have a young quarterback matchup on primetime. Either that's going to be the Broncos or the Bears. It might be the Broncos because the Bears need to get their weight up, but the Bears are sexier with the Ben Johnson addition, and they had a great draft and all that good stuff, and a playoff rematch with the Detroit Lions. So here are my 6 predictions for Washington's primetime game. I think we're going on the road internationally, guys. I think we're going abroad. We're taking Jaden Daniels to go sell to the whole country of Spain. There's going to be kids running around in shirts that say hashtag JD5. I think we're going to Madrid to play the Miami Dolphins in primetime at some point in the 2025 season. I think it's going to be another one of those Friday night games. Shit, it could be one of the openers. It could be the day after the Philadelphia Eagles play probably the Detroit Lions or somebody on opening night at the Link. Remember last year there was the Friday game between the Eagles and the Packers to open the season on the first Friday of the season. I could see that being us in Miami. We don't lose a home game, so it don't hurt me none. We're not going to lose a game at Northwest Stadium. They get to lose a game at Hard Rock. That ain't my problem, no. That's their problem. They get to lose a game. My first primetime prediction, Miami Dolphins in Spain, Jaden versus Tua, Tyreek Hill, hide all the bitches in Spain because that man is doing legendary numbers impregnating women that aren't his wife and impregnating his wife every year. Hide all the women in Spain from Tyreek Hill's crazy ass if he's still on that roster come season. Next one, obviously, we're going to have a playoff rematch against the Detroit Lions. Obviously, 45-31. All of a sudden, all their fans are pulling out little baby violins. But we had so many injured players. But Amik Robinson broke his arm, and Aiden Hutchinson's leg is cooked brisket, and all this. That wasn't the temperature, the temperament, and the vibes going into the game. I remember going on Woodward Sports on the Woodward's heavyweight. Shout out to those guys, by the way. I remember talking to some of these Lions fans throughout the week, and they were talking to your boy real crazy. Now, y'all just lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, but the team is still certifiably fire. The roster is still stacked. It's still like that. Y'all coming on down to Northwest this year. Come on down. Let's play them on Friday. Let's play them on prime. So I don't care if it's Monday night. So I can see this one being the Sunday nighter. I can see this one being a Sunday night matchup. Lions, Washington, divisional round rematch. We put belt to ass of the number 1 seed. That is my division. That's my primetime game number 2. So far I got the Dolphins. I got the Lions. Then we got the division. One versus the Eagles, one versus the Cowboys. Need I say more? The Cowboys are always op number 1, arch nemesis. But I think there are co-number one ops now because it's Philly. Because Philly is the team everybody in the league is looking up to. We played them 3 times last year. Their quarterback got knocked out the second game. We saw what happened, and then they put belt to our ass in the NFC Championship. I wish we could be the team that plays them in the opener. I would love to go up to the link on opening night and go set the tone of the whole fucking season and make a statement when they put their banner up. I don't think the league's going to do that, though. I think they're going to save that matchup for a rainy day, another time for prime time. I think they're going to put the Lions or somebody in that slot. I don't know. I need to look at the teams that the Eagles host this year. But we're definitely playing the Eagles on prime time at least once, possibly both times. The Cowboys, it's Cowboys Washington. Come on, man. Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, Commander, whatever you want to call it. That's always a juicy matchup. And if Dak's healthy, it's going to be 2 very good games. With Dak not healthy last year, there were still 2 very good games. Wacky-ass games, crazy-ass games with crazy endings and sporadic acid trip scoring sprees by both teams. But that was the only team I could say truly had an answer for Jaden Daniels last year. Jaden found his rhythm versus the Eagles in both of those games. Even the game we got blown out in, he couldn't help that his teammates were fumbling the ball over the fucking field. But the Cowboys, they were the only team that literally had Jaden kind of schemed up for the most part, both times we saw them. But I got both of those guys. So in summary so far, I got the Dolphins in Spain. I got the Lions probably on Sunday Night Football, a Thursday nighter and a Monday nighter with Dallas and Philadelphia. That is 4 so far. That's 4 primetime games. And then you got the young quarterback versus young quarterback primetime matchup. It should be us versus the Chicago Bears because it has more sex appeal. But I'm sorry, Chicago, you got to prove it to me first. You got to get your weight up and your rank up. The Denver Broncos made the playoffs last year, and Bo Nix was actually a Rookie of the Year candidate next to Jaden Daniels. And I hear their fan base, he threw for more touchdowns. He should have been the Rookie of it. No. He should not have been the Rookie of the Year. We're not going to act like 900 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, and him missing 6 quarters is not the only reason why Bo Nix threw more touchdowns. Also, he got more yak from his receivers, but I don't even need to go in those type of explanations because we saw who won Rookie of the Year. We saw who was the last rookie standing last year. We saw the greatest rookie season from a quarterback in NFL history. It's not debatable. Debate your mother about it. Broncos, Commanders on primetime, man. The Broncos are stacking that roster up pretty well, and Sean Payton has his, you know what I'm saying? He has his discounted Breeze Kamara type combo there in Denver. I think it would make for a very fun Monday night football game. Monday night be tweaking sometime. They be putting some bullshit on Monday night. They be putting Geno versus Gardner Minshew or some shit on Monday night football. Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels is sexy. That's fire. They need to do better at picking primetime games. I see that being a fire quarterback versus quarterback matchup. And my final prediction for a primetime game, I'm not doing the mock schedule yet. We'll do a mock schedule coming up, and we're going to do something similar on the Commanders Kings. And I think we're going to go live the night the schedule goes live. But my 6th and final primetime prediction for the Washington Commanders 2025 season is a Christmas Day showdown at Arrowhead Stadium. Christmas Day. My daughter's birthday. Shout out to my baby Milena. Christmas morning, pop open the gifts under the Christmas tree and get ready to nestle around a fireplace and watch Jaden Daniels, the future of the league versus the current face of the league, Patrick Mahomes, on Christmas Day. I can assure you this. I don't care who you get performing at that game at halftime. Maybe it'll be Tay-Tay. Maybe it'll be Taylor Swift, just like it was the Beyonce Bowl last year. Maybe get Taylor Swift to perform at halftime. We're not going to go out and score 2 points in front of a pop star on Christmas Day, on Jesus' birthday, like the Houston Texans did last year. Washington not going to do that. We're going to go up to Kansas City on Christmas Day on Netflix, on whatever network has the rights to it this year, and in front of the whole world on the biggest holiday of the year, because that is the audience that Jaden Daniels seeks, because he's that motherfucking guy. Mahomes versus Daniels right now versus up next. It's the Kobe versus LeBron thing. It gets fun. Jordan, LeBron, it gets really fun on Christmas Day. All the graphics. I need the graphic of Mahomes next to Jaden Daniels. All that shit, bro. So my 6 primetime predictions for this 2025 schedule release. And I don't care if I'm wrong, by the way. So don't come in my comment, you were wrong, Rio. It was only 4 primetime games. You know, we could also get flexed into it. We got flexed into a game last year versus the Vikings late in the season. But these are just educated guesses and hypotheses about how this schedule could look. So I got us playing the Broncos on primetime. I got us playing the Lions on primetime, the Cowboys on primetime, the Eagles, the Dolphins in Spain, international, hashtag JD5, and the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day. Give me your primetime game predictions. Give me the quantity, how many games you expect to see us on primetime. Also, give us the teams you think we play on primetime. And when you look at this schedule, it's chock full of good teams, playoff teams, and historical stadiums to go to. So it's a good travel season as a Washington Commanders fan. That's all I got for right now, man. It's Saturday, May 3rd. Go ahead and get you some of this sunlight, get your body moving, get some steps in. Next week, around the same time, we'll be talking about what rookie mini camp, what took place at rookie mini camp when our guys get in the building, number selections, who looked good, who didn't look good. Hopefully no injury news to talk about. And then after that, it's the schedule release. We start to get a little bit of OTA sprinkled in by the end of May. Then mandatory mini camp coming up in June as we count down the days till we get to training camp. Once we get to training camp at the end of July, it is all wheels up toward the 2025 season. Thank you for always rocking with your boy and rocking with the channel. Smash that like button, comment your predictions, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This is one of the most fun, interactive Washington Commander channels you're going to find on YouTube, where you can pop your shit, have a good time, and learn a little bit in the process, man. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Talk soon. Commander Rio, out.